Hello there, this is Sahil from Simple Life Tarot. Hope you're all doing well. This video, particularly one, is dedicated to one of my favorites in the zodiac signs. It's the watery Cancerians. I have got a couple of very close friends who've been, around in my life since the very beginning, since childhood, and I'm very glad to have them. So this one is dedicated to all of you beautiful Cancerians. If you're new to this account, please don't forget to follow the account, and I will do the same, and we can always be connected. And if you want your in-depth personalized readings in your own context, you can always message me or DM me here, or simply go to simplelifetarot.com and book a reading there. All right, so I already have two card decks with me. I have one of my favorite light seers. I also have my Simple Life Tarot deck with me, which is a great combination of tarot and astrology. And I will also be using another deck, which is another favorite, my Traveler's deck, the Sacred Traveler's Oracle card deck. So I'm going to be using that as well. So I will be pulling out some cards. Let me quickly shuffle them, and I will get straight to the point to what I find and the guidance through these cards. All right, hang on a second. All right, so I have pulled out all the cards, and let's start talking about what I see here very quickly. This is a very emotionally heavy spread that has come up, and seems like, this is your month, Cancerians, your water signs, and your most innate and natural element is out in the open, or let's say out at play, if not out in the open. It could be very much within. This is what I see. So what is happening currently, or has been recently happening with you, what I'm going to do is kind of preface this, what's happening and where are you moving next, what lies ahead of you. I see that, especially in terms of your relationships, and I'll tell you why, because as you see the card, you'll see how it's kind of expanding on it. Coming to your relationship, it seems, or relationships, whichever ones are most highlighted in your own context, you've been kind of tuned out. You've been quite tuned out. Even you're not able to embrace what you're getting out of those relationships because your expectations are not being met. Whatever those expectations are. You did see, and this is because of the Four of Cups I see, along with, the Six of Wands. You were seeking something else, or maybe you're not feeling appreciated in the relationship that you're in. And that's causing a lot of disappointment. So, sometimes you get a lot of stuff in your relationship that you expect, and sometimes you don't what you were expecting. So it's kind of that balance that you can mindfully strike. But if it really does not fulfill your intrinsic values, then it's a bit of a trouble. And you're probably in this mood of winding things up and moving along. This is the Ten of Wands. You're okay with whatever happens. Sometimes, things don't go as expected, and you are kind of ready to wrap things up in this relationship. However, you're not very sure still. You're wanting something, but the reality or the fact of the matter is that you are in this mode of contemplation, and whether to take the step or not. You're just not sure. And like I said, the Two of Pentacles also tells me in this particular context is you're not sure what to really look forward to. You're not sure if this relationship is correct or right for you. You're not sure you're getting what you wanted. You're not even sure what you wanted exactly. Those expectations are also not very clear. So you're in this contemplation mode that the other person might not be even aware of, because I also have a Lover's card at the end, right? So probably the other person doesn't know that your expectations are not being met. So contemplation, kind of is swirling around inside of you, making you more confused. At the same time, I see a Queen of Cups, and I also have an Eight of Cups right here. And it tells me either you've already been, connecting with somebody like a friend, probably a feminine figure, but not necessarily. But try to reach out to somebody who can support you or guide you in terms of navigating these complexities of emotions, of the emotional turmoil that you've been going through, and this contemplation piece that's not giving you much clarity at this moment. Or you can do that, right? Or somebody might reach out to you to give you that extra hand in unpacking the complexities for you. But the point is, and where you're heading towards, or you want to head towards, is a sense of healing. You want to move forward, move past this stagnation, this contemplation, this confusion and frustration at the same time, right? It's all happening internally for you. So you wanted to get away from it. And I see that Eight of Cups is more about abandoning everything that has happened in the past. Just start fresh. That's been on your mind. That's probably where you're heading towards. When I say, you're heading towards, does that mean that you're going to abandon that relationship completely? I don't think so. I don't really think so, because there is definitely a possibility. I also have a Venus card here, by the way. So this is definitely a relationship heavy spread that has come out, or the cards that have come out. I also have a Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, a lot of queens here, by the way. So I see a lot of support coming along as you wanted to navigate the situation. So don't feel alone or by yourself. If you haven't reached out to somebody, reach out to somebody who can help you get unstuck in these situations. Could be teachers, mentors, coaches, critical friends, could be anybody else, could be an old friend, sometimes could be a counselor, whatever or whoever that person is. You must reach out to that person to seek more clarity. I also have the Hierophant card and the Queen of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. See, the thing is, when imbalance happens, and I'm also cognizant of a couple of things. Number one, Mercury retrograde is taking place. This can cause a lot of chaos in terms of communication, although I don't have a communication card here per se, but that's another side of astrology, right? We have to be cognizant of what's happening in the planetary realms. And when Venus, the card that I have here, and then the Taurus, which is the Hierophant that I have here, and considering that the Mercury retrograde is taking place right now, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about other retrogrades taking place, Venus and whatnot. Keeping a broader picture in mind right now, I think there's a mindfulness required when you are communicating with your partners, whoever they are, whatever relationships they are. This seems to be more like a romantic one, could be something else too, doesn't matter. Whatever your context is, communication is one of those keys that you have to be cognizant of. And remember, because of the Hierophant card, I can tell you that this is not just a superficial matter. That person is not speaking to you in a very good way, or something, or some kind of behavior, overall behavior, superficial behavior is not satisfying you, and then you're perturbed. No, this goes deep, and this can not only be fixed by making changes on the outer side. You have to delve deep inside on the spiritual realms to feel that healing taking place for you. Get to the roots of things. It's funny because I was just yesterday having this conversation with a friend of mine who is a spiritual teacher as well, and we were kind of having this beautiful conversation around logic and spiritual realms. And the gist of the matter, or the conversation, was that yes, both of them have their equal parts of contribution when you want to get past a certain point in life, which means yes, you have to delve deeper into the spiritual realms first, figure out what the root causes are, what are those areas where healing is most required, work on those areas. But when you say work on those areas, that also means actions. It can also mean embedding logic into your spiritual realms. So as much as they seem separate, they are part of a gestalt, right? They live within each other. They cannot be separated out completely. They are meant for each other. So when I say you have to delve into the deeper realms of your spiritual life and really see what is happening in your relationships, what is not getting fulfilled. I also made a video about values and belief systems. You might want to check that one out. It's going to give you some techniques of unpacking those realms too. So once you figure that out through some expert, if you're not able to do that yourself and you're feeling confused, I don't know about all this stuff, doing the inner work, doing the shadow work, doing the spiritual work for myself, no problem. Reach out, because I see that support a lot. There are like tons of queens, 3 queens in the same spread. Okay, so there's ton of support, and this could also be you who has to take the lead in getting clarity or putting things back in balance. So another thing is, because I see a lot of pentacles and Pentacles and Wands and mostly Cups. It tells me, and Taurus being an earth energy as well, and Queen of Pentacles, as you heal, healing is not only happening on the emotional level. It's about your mental well-being, it's about your spiritual well-being, and it's about your physical well-being as well. And financial well-being, let me add that too, in a very realistic 21st century world, okay? So you need to really look into all those areas that are making you feel a little chaotic or unstable. Because to be able to get into that or tap into the Taurus energy of stability and perseverance, you got to persevere first, of course, but in what direction? The direction is to check your financial life, check your physical life, how is that going? Check your emotional life, how is that going? Because they're all impacting each other, okay? It might be, for example, a case right now that you're not feeling financially stable in a relationship. That's what's causing you the most trouble, because it's not fulfilling your innermost value of security, okay? So they're all connected deeply, all intertwined. So you have to check that out. And the message that I also see going forward, or what lies ahead for you, is to delve deeper into your true passions, okay? And not in a hasty way, not into something you like and you just want to do right away. Okay, you can, but the Queen of Pentacles also tells me that you are going to be investing your energy, and you have to be wise in where you're investing your energies. And also, do not forget the details of what's going to happen, what will be the outcomes in the activities that you will be putting in your energies. Things are looking great, to be very honest. I don't see a breakdown of any relationship right now, but what I do see, there needs to be a lot of emotional work to be done. There's a lot of inner work to be done at your own level, because you have to take charge of this entire experience of your relationship. You have to take charge. You have to lead this. Don't expect another person or a partner or whoever you're in a relationship with to know everything what's inside of you. They can't dream, of what's in your mind. You have to be vocal about it, but you have to be subtle about it. Mercury retrograde. You have to be subtle about it. You have to see what is the right time to talk about certain things. Make sure that you are face to face if possible, right? Even if that means a video call face to face. Don't just send text messages and SMSs and whatnot, expressing yourself and letting the other person wonder, I wonder what she is feeling or he is feeling. I'm not sure, maybe this and maybe that, and WhatsApp, you cannot express your emotions well when you're texting. The tone matters, right? The way you're saying things matter a lot. So do not create more chaos by not adapting to these requirements and in these current times. But overall, this looks to be a month of inner work for me. There could be slight changes that you need to make to feel better in your relationships. The oracle card that I picked out is take the first step. It's so much tuned in, like it's all aligned. The entire message is aligned. Take the first step, get into some greater clarity, do the work if you can yourself, lead it. That is where the first step comes in. Lead or initiate the process of getting unstuck. Meet, consult, whether it's your friends, counselors, other critical people who can provide you that support emotionally, materially, also mean physically, to keep up with your physical well-being or your emotional or your financial well-being, and invest in your energies into doing some inner work first to see these shifts happening at a practical level. Do not blame your partner or the other person completely. I really strongly feel that it's you whose expectations are not being met. It's not the other person. And that other person cannot daydream about what you're expecting unless you communicate it properly. And that's the way, ultimately, you're going to be achieving a sense of stability, a sense of security, right? The right ways that you crave.
That's all from me for now. Have a wonderful month ahead. Take care.